What do the following have in common? Frosted glass, blurry, smudged, mirage, hazy, low res, or motion blur? The answer? They are all used to describe Apple Vision Pro's pass-through video. Let me explain. I want to start out by emphasizing that this is way better than any other headset on the market. Apple is aiming high, envisioning an AR device that's as lightweight and unobtrusive as Google Glass, but packed with features in Apple's own ecosystem. However, it's clear the technology to fully realize this vision isn't quite there yet. I feel the only way to get there is by iterations, but Apple has to launch products in order to innovate and grow. This is just the first step of what promises to be an exciting journey. Now, even though it's being marketed as an AR device, the truth is it feels a lot more like a VR headset with some AR magic sprinkled in. And that's exactly why we're having this conversation today. After you get over the whole wow factor of everything, you start questioning with no real answer to, is it broken? Is it me? Or is it intentional? The short answer for most of you is that it was intentional, based on environmental factors and current technology. Now, let's go ahead and put on the Apple Vision Pro so we can define what we're seeing together and get to the bottom of this. So we don't have to question if it's broken or our insanity. Hey guys, how's it going? We got our headset on here and we're going to focus on the Vision Pro box. And I also put a can of soda, Coca-Cola, next to it, just so we could see a little difference of the outlines and whatnot. We have two lights above them, which I could control with these two controllers remotely. And there's a light over my head that's lighting the whole room as well. We also have a digital tape measure here, so we could look at the distance and see how that plays for everything. So we're gonna roll forward and backwards at different distances and show you what it looks like. So right now we're starting off at 4 feet. Those overhead lights are pretty low. Actually, we'll go ahead and turn them off. We could see it even looks a little more, I don't know if I would say blurry, but it is darker. It is harder to see, right? The challenges with this technology, this is not really real AR. We are not looking through something. It is still recreating the room based on cameras. So it's only going to be as good as the cameras are going to be. And these are some of the best cameras and technology we've seen in headsets so far. I think they're down to 12 milliseconds delay. Like if I move my hand, that is really my hand moving, and it looks pretty good. And for all intents and purposes, it's very usable. With that said, just with the challenges of video and cameras, you get motion blur, right? If you move your hand too fast, you get this motion blur. If I move my head a bit, you'll see the edges of things get blurry. That same blur is what I'm seeing at the distance. I don't want to call it motion blur because we are not moving, we're sitting still. But it does feel like that motion blur at certain distances. And I just wanted to document and illustrate this. I spent an hour and a half on the phone with an Apple Vision Pro tech that deals with the display specifically, running through things. And basically, the short version here, like I said earlier, is I think this is intended because this is the limitation of the technology that's in here. I'm not sure if firmware updates or anything will fix that. But again, let's illustrate this so other people aren't questioning if their headset's broken or something's wrong. So my thing was, is it the headset? Is it the fit? The big thing here is if you pull up your menu, like here, if all of this text looks clear, and to me, and like you guys could see, it is perfectly clear. If that is clear, there's no real issue other than possibly your lens being smudged, right? And we ruled that out. We wiped the lens off, or not the lens, but the front cover, and that's perfectly clear. So again, to me, the Vision Pro is hard to make out. I do have good vision. I don't wear glasses, so I have no lenses in here. If we look at the Coca on the lens, on the can, you could see like it's not that solid. But before we do any moving around, let's turn these back on, and we're gonna pump up the light. So we started at 1%. I'm gonna go really extreme here. Let's go to 100% on these lights. Like, I would never even shoot at 100% on these lights, right? So at 100%, we could tell the environmental factors, right? So the Vision Pro on the box itself is more visible. I could see the lines a little. The Coca-Cola can, I could see the lines a little bit, right? Um, we're still sitting at that 4 feet. We haven't moved yet. But now, this is where I'm gonna start pushing further back and closer. So at 4 feet, we could see the Vision Pro contrast between the gray and the white on there, right? That's why I'm picking this, something that's defining. Now, if I didn't have the goggles on, I would be able to read it perfectly fine. But that is that slight difference here. So I'm gonna push back another, I don't know, let's see how far we could go. 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's stop at 6 feet. I'm maybe 3 or 4 inches. Now you could look at it, and now we're back at to almost being blurry like we were before with this much light. Again, it's a subtle thing, but when you look around the room, again, when you see me moving my head, it gets blurry. We have that motion blur on the edges of things. But when you stop for a second, it starts to focus in, right? The detail on the chair and the polo. Yeah, don't mind the messy office, guys. So again, this is 6 feet with the lights totally on 100%, which is really bright. I wish there was a way to illustrate how bright it is, but they're soft lights, the LED soft light panels. Yeah, okay, so we're at 6 feet. Let's go back to 4 feet with the same lighting. Okay, so that's about 4 feet. You could see it's a lot more clear. And now we're gonna push closer. Let's go 2 foot 6 inches. All right, now that's pretty, to me, that's acceptable. So the distance from objects and lighting plays a larger factor in how soft or hard the edges are in on things. And that is just the challenge at where we're at. Again, we didn't see much of this before because no one has made it this far with this technology. And I'm sure we're going to have more hiccups in the road as time progresses. But again, this is not the destination that Apple was going, right? The destination is going to be something like Google Glass later on, something very lightweight, see-through, that will give us all these same features. But in order to get there, they just spent 10 years and $2 billion a year developing the technology we have now. So for them to, I think they hit a wall, right? I think it's very much, they need developers to come in, they need people to use it so that they could figure out how to fix the challenges they have in front of them. They need the out-of-the-box thinking to fix challenges that were unforeseen, right? The challenges we don't know. You don't know what you don't know. The more people you throw at it, the better it will become. But anyway, guys, let's jump back and follow up. Hey, guys, we're back. Headsets off. I hope that was a bit helpful to you guys. Don't drive yourself crazy trying to figure out, is my Apple Vision Pro broken? I see all this blur, mirage stuff going on. If you found this helpful, hit that share button down below. I'm sure there's someone else that it may be beneficial for. Hit the like button, subscribe. See you next time.